Hi, you're watching Nerdy News on VideoGamesBlogger.com. I'm your host Laura, and today I'll be filling you in on the latest in gaming news. This going has been pretty rough lately for Square Enix. Despite commercial and critical hits like Deus Ex: Human Revolution and the recently released Tomb Raider, the Japanese publishing powerhouse now expects a net income loss of 13 billion yen, or about $140 million. That is considerably higher than the originally estimated 3.5 billion yen. And slow Western sales are at the heart of the problem. Due to this revelation, Yoichi Wada is stepping down from his position as Square Enix president, and he is being replaced with the current representative director, Yosuke Matsuda, this June. I am of the opinion that the other big Japanese developer, Nintendo, has learned a lesson from Square Enix's struggle. Long known for their resistance to social networking, refusing to port games to non-Nintendo consoles, and a general fear of change, we may start to see Nintendo reinvent itself once again. Nintendo pretty much let it all hang loose at this year's Game Developers Conference. First, they announced Miiverse as a smartphone and web-based app, which will be available to download in May. It will let users interact with other Miis and their community while on the go, suggesting a major shift in Nintendo's closed-off business strategy. Nintendo continued to bring in web and app developers to the Wii U by showing off new tools that will make it much easier to port apps and even some games to the console. This is where they really hooked me personally. I would have to be blind not to notice the trend towards indie developers and the growing demand for indie games on the console. Nintendo has obviously finally opened their eyes. Nintendo Web Framework uses WebKit as a core and is usually compatible with existing apps. The Framework SDK will be available for anyone to use with the purchase of the Wii U Developer Kit. Nintendo will not require concept approval and will allow developers to set their own price and release date for the apps. Okay, who are you and what have you done with Nintendo? Seriously though, it gets even better. One major hurdle that has kept indie developers off Nintendo consoles was the rather stuffy rule that required all Nintendo developers to have a physical office space. Come on, people practically live online nowadays. Thankfully, Nintendo has gone through some sort of karmic enlightenment and has now recognized this sort of rule is completely outdated. Amazingly, there's even more good news. The sales threshold, which kept developers from earning profit on their games until they sold 6,000 units, is also gone. So, the two biggest Japanese developers have both suffered losses and are now restructuring and adapting to survive in an ever-changing industry. What do and don't you like about their methods? Let me know what you think down in the comments below. That's all the news I have for today. Love and peace from my PC to yours.